State of the Union with John King, CNN Sunday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern.
He is Thomas Kean, former Republican governor of New Jersey and the former chairman of the 9/11 Commission. Thank you so much, Governor Kean, for being with us this morning. You heard what John Brennan had to say when pressed on the Christmas bomber plot. What's your general reaction to his responses?
Well, they're a bit defensive, and I guess that's probably understandable given all the circumstances. But, you know, this guy, in some respects, looking at it in retrospect, probably did us a favor. I mean, look, we had an administration which was not focused as it should be on terrorism, and that's understandable. They were focused on health care and on global warming and the economy. That's very understandable. Secondly, we weren't really focused on Yemen and the terrible things that are happening there. Now we are, and that's a good thing. And thirdly, there were holes, obviously, and the system wasn't working well. We found out it wasn't working well. The president understands it's not working well, and now we're focused on fixing it. So all over, thanks God, it wasn't any serious injury, but the guy probably did us a favor now, because now we're going to be a little more alert.
Well, you heard what Mr. Brennan said. He said this was human failure. This was not a failure of people fighting each other on turf. But when I asked him the question that you've been asking this week, which is about why not pay attention to Abdul Muttalib's father, a wealthy Nigerian banker who walks into the embassy and is worried, he seemed to say that wasn't a direct clue.
Well, that alone, given who that father was, his prestige in the community, his connections with the United States Embassy, that alone should have been enough. Because think for a moment, if you're a father, or a mother for that matter, what it takes to go in there to a foreign embassy and actually turn in your child. I mean, this was an act of tremendous courage by this man.
But Brennan's response was he didn't say his son was a terrorist.
Well, that's not good enough. That's not a good enough response, because that to my mind, should have put everybody on alert. That should have gone right up. And you know, again, he said there were pieces of information. He's absolutely right. But he's wrong when he says this wasn't like 9/11, because what we pointed out in the report again and again is that there were a lot of pieces of information. If they'd been put together, then we might have deterred that plot. This is the same thing. A lot of pieces of information, if they had been shared by the intelligence agencies the way they should be, and where the system the Congress set up is designed to compel, then this guy would never have gotten on that plane.
We've been spending a lot of time this week rereading the 9/11 report. We also, which I happen to have here, and we've also been rereading that final report card when the 9/11 Commission did an update on where we were on security issues. And this was in December 2005. Let me show this to you a little bit. Airline passenger pre-screening. You gave them an F. Airline passenger explosive screening. You gave them a C. Government-wide information sharing, a D. Have the grades improved?
I think they may have improved some, but this incident showed us not enough.
Still an F in airline passenger screening, do you think?
No, I'd give him a little higher grade now, but still not good enough. I mean, we've got to reach an A in that level. I mean, we cannot allow our people to get on a plane and not feel safe. So, yeah, it still not good enough. But now, thank goodness, perhaps due to this incident, we'll get to where we should be.